Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Before we get forward, I thought it would be interesting to do some tech tests, basically see how the system works, right? So you may not notice, I've cheated my speed, dexterity, and agility up to triple nine, right? So really, really, really high speed, dexterity, and agility. Now the reason I did this is because, as we've talked about before, there's several different types of turn-based games out there, right? One of those types is what I call True Initiative. FF10 and FF Tactics both employ True Initiative. Come on. There's no enemies here. Are you kidding me with this? Hang on. There we go. Alright, so. However, you could tell immediately this is not True Initiative. This is actually interesting. So, we each have a turn, and then the enemy has a turn, and that's it. So we'll go first, but that's it, because this is not a True Initiative system. Instead, it's just a round-based system, like D&D. So everyone gets an action, and then the round concludes, and then a new round starts, right? So as you can see, that's it. Now that's actually worthwhile to know, because it does say that while there's some value in going first, and there is, just like there is in D&D, effectively what that makes speed is just initiative. How quickly you go in the turn order, and whether or not you go first or not. Useful, but not particularly useful. Like, not super ridiculously god stat useful. I was looking at some of the other stats too, and I wanted to mess with this one. Hang on, I need to get in the menu for this to work. There we go. There we go. So now we have movement speed of 1,000. Let's see what that does. Hypothetically, nothing. Really? Okay, that's a little surprising. I was expecting to see, like, the entire area be blue. Okay, really? Hang on. So, it's now possible. It's either capped or, and this is also possible, this is cosmetic, and these stats aren't doing anything. So, in order to test that, let's go ahead and mess with our health. Okay, so the health's stuck. Okay. So that's not it. Okay, let's set movement at, I don't know, 50. That's still up quite a bit. There we go, 50. Let's see if that does anything. There we go. Yep, looks like it capped. Now that's interesting. So yeah, we could go over here. And that's it. Right, because the movement in this game kind of sucks. Okay, so hang on, let's run. So now, this is reverse engineering here. Now, let's set our speed, dexterity, and agility to, I don't know, 50. Maybe 60? We'll do 60. That feels high, right? I'm not sure what high would be here. I have no idea what the normal cap is. I don't know. I see people with like 40, so I feel 60 isn't actually that high. Yeah, maybe let's go with 99. That's actually good. Let's do 99. Double digits. There we go. Nope. So we still only get one action per theirs. Yeah, let's do an attack. It's actually a good idea. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. Oh, wait, nope. Something did actually happen. Did you see that? Hang on. That's interesting. So yeah, speed is a god stat. Never mind. It's just a... Okay, so this is useful. Legitimately. I'm going to give this a negative. I know that sounds strange. I am, though, because that is a deliberately misleading HUD, right? Like, imagine if I cranked my stats up to about, say, 60, through normal means. Unless I knew what the hell I was doing, it doesn't actually tell me the orders. It just tells me, like, that's so bad. I'm sorry. Like, watch this, watch this. Yeah, see? It doesn't tell you until you're already committing to the action what it's going to do to the interface. Like... Okay, yeah, no, yeah, negative. I mean, that's true, Mook, but that's also true in Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's also true in Final Fantasy X, and they have no problem displaying your move order accurately in those games. Also, both of them came out before this game. While we're on the subject. Okay, well that is informative. It's only with like 90 speed and a dexterity. Jeez Louise. I think that's it for like messing with. So let's go ahead and close this up, because obviously we're not sticking with these cheats. I was actually hoping to do some legitimate off-camera grinding. I did not have time to. So... So that didn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't do any... So, I'll tell you exactly what's happening. The way that FF10 and FFT and Tactics Ogre all do it is that they're calculating it every time the HUD gets updated, which means, as of this moment in time, here's your turn order, if that makes sense. Then you say, okay, I want to attack, and it says, okay, hang on, if you attack, here's the new calculation. In FF10 in specific, it actually has a visual indicator of, like, here is the type of attack you're doing and how, like, there's a little bar there, if you remember, just, and that kind of shows a little bit of the type of action you're doing. Arceus does this too. Pokemon Arceus has, like, little visual indicators to kind of make it even more clear that this is a fast attack, this is a slow attack, etc., etc. But it still does it! What am I doing? I'm healing, but I don't have any heals. Do I? Yeah, Dakota? Just click here. Oh my god. Okay. Schrodinger's pants. I mean... The status of her pants depends on whether or not you're looking at them. That just feels funny. I suppose that's true. I could just get rid of a positive. But I hate this game and everything about it, and it must die and suffer. Tell you what, why don't we bake that into another negative I've been debating? Because there's another negative I'm debating. Oh, that died too easily. Let me make sure my stats are correct. Why do they still have super high stats? Why do they still have super high stats? Hang on. Let's just restart the whole game here. This is actually specifically. I didn't save. Okay. Stats are correct. No, Darkrai. And honestly, by memory, there will not be in this game. The biggest relevance I've seen in this game where range matters is that it gives you more time to do things like ranged attacks. And some enemies do something like this very mob does, where they explode on death. And a non-zero amount of enemies explode on death. Like Colgrim. If I was to attack Colgrim right now, he'd just be like... And that would be that. Because that's an AoE.
Oh, are we done already?
Yeah, we actually have an AoE already. But... it's barely relevant. And there's line attacks. We'll get those later.
Let's move out.
No, I was just testing. There's a reason I just reloaded the entire game to make sure I don't have my speed stats back. Let me tell you, though, it took me a solid hour to get the cheats working last night. Now, granted, I was doing it while working on other stuff, so asterisk there, but still. That was the thing. It was worth it, though. Now I have the safety net.
Not now.
Oh, for God's sakes! Jesus effing Christ, game. Like, okay, to explain a little bit there, I am so far over-leveled for this part of the game that I really shouldn't have to do anything other than white damage. And I am specifically trying to build up CP, which means doing damage. If I just use EPs, I actually will not build as much CP as I need. So I'm white damaging. And I just had someone die to a situation like that. And I thought, maybe that might pull it up, but no. He's too pathetic to survive an enemy that's lower level than he is. And of course, dying means losing all CP, which is the entire point here. God. EP is used for arts. CP is used for crafts. CP is a builder spender. EP is just mana. So I guess I gotta use EP now. I don't even know what it stands for. Energy points? I don't know, something. Whatever. Just do your thing. Like, that only got him 7 CP. That was almost a waste. In fact... yeah, he just generated 10 CP from a melee attack, as opposed to 7 from a magic attack which one-shot the enemy. I bring that up because that means it's not counting the amount of damage done to generate CP, which means it's objectively better to white damage in order to generate CP. So I'm being encouraged to do the attacks that are getting me killed. I could see that working if white damage wasn't Garbo. Maybe take a frickin' hit. Or if we're over 100. That might be enough.
Cool.
No, if we're being honest, and I don't want to sound too unkind, but really, it reminds me of basically everything else in this game. It doesn't feel deliberate. It feels like an unintentional side effect of some developer somewhere not thinking about the consequences of changing something. The fact that so many of the issues I have with this are apparently solved with the second game just proves me right about that. The fact that someone looked at this and was like, oh, wait. You know? I mean, wasn't this technically a first game for this development team? Because it feels like it.
That's that then. Let's move out.
I mean, that is the expansion effect in a nutshell. We've learned what we're doing. We don't have to spend all the time and effort making the assets. We can just make the content. And the content is supposed to be better. It's not always. Okay, so the actual priest is bothering with all that nonsense. I have no idea, push-ups. You're speaking gibberish. I mean, we still have the possibility of a good first game when we get to Star Fox. Damn it. I think we've had some decently scoring first games, though. You can check on the website. Okay, so... Can't fast forward this one, or else it won't do damage.
Someone's been naughty.
Please stop shoving my face into your boobs. Oh my god, he's got a sliver of health. He has a sliver. What a waste. Whatever, die.
Here I
At least we killed one. You know, I used to think that push-ups, and then I reviewed it.
We're good to go.
Yeah, Undertale actually doesn't qualify as first game material, amusingly enough. Now, amusingly, there are several games further into a series that tend to be decent first games. Ah, damn it. Yeah, FF4 or anything else I can't think. Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition is actually a pretty good example of a first game. Because it doesn't have any other qualifications of what a first game is. Not only is it not his first game, but it's... So, okay. The first game concept, FF1 would qualify, although it's not a very good game. The first game concept is it's either that dev team's first foray into something, and or it's their first game, period, right? Either way, first games tend to feel very similar to each other, which is why we have that concept at all. You can almost always tell a first game just by playing it, quite frankly. The Giving Place. I mean... I think those are like 5th game or something like that. Aha! There you go. So, DKCR is the first game, and that scored quite well. And it was Retro's first time at ever doing a platformer. And while that game has some very serious issues, it still scored quite well. There we go, first games. Axiom Verge got a 36. A lot of the first games I'll have no on replay, that's funny. In fact, all of them do, except for Dragon Quest 1. It's the only first game that doesn't have a no on the replay. That's funny. Suikoden 1 was a net positive. Dragon Quest 1 was a net positive. Okami was a net positive. Ace Combat 4. Batman Arkham Origins. Dragon's Dogma. Iron Harvest. The Messenger. Breath of the Wild. Oracle of Seasons. Human Revolution. Eastward scored pretty well. The Gunk, DKCR, as you already mentioned, and looks like that's it. Those are all the ones that are positive. Metroid Prime 1 would qualify if we were reviewing it, which we of course are not. We're reviewing Metroid Prime 1R. No, Resident Evil 1, if we ever review that, will absolutely qualify. Oof. And yes, Pokemon Red will qualify when we get there. What am I doing? I've lost so much. What am I doing? Here we go. East Bose Highway. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think. There's some game that I don't think we've reviewed yet, where it was their very first foray, and like their first game was their best. Like, they can never really recapture that spark. Hold it right there. Hakan Gate is currently not permitting civilian passports. Unauthorized personnel not allowed past this point. Sorry to make you waste your breath, but we are authorized to be here. Behold. The mayor's requested we come and speak with General Morgan about the status of the search. As you can see, this document is official. But if you don't let us through, I'm sure you can hate life later. So people let you through. Are you serious about this? Don't you know, Mayor? But Maybell is the one in charge of the entire region. You can't just ignore that. I guess you're right. Alright. We'll grant you permission. Make sure you don't cause any problems. Whatever happens, never forget we share a border with the Empire. What does that have to do with anything? Believe it or not, I'm actually not that familiar with Contra from a behind-the-scenes perspective. I guess we are very close to the border there. Hey, people, good fate. You know, we were talking literally just yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago, about how much of game design has just kind of been forgotten in the modern era. It would be nice to be able to rearrange my spells in whatever order I want to. What the crap? God damn it. Because if it's going to do this not memorizing spells thing, I can at least get around that by just having my own custom spell order, right? Something that is such a brand new piece of tech that was invented back in 1991 on FF4. Or whenever FF4 came out. On the SNES, to be very clear.
Let's move out.
Now, this is when we're going to prove that I'm an idiot and show that I actually can rearrange these. Nope. Okay, cool. If Veilguard can beat Origins, I will be legitimately shocked and impressed.
All right, we're good to go.
Ooh, tender poultry. I mean, Origins has a fairly large amount of baggage carrying it down. But Origins still scored pretty well, as it arguably should. I forget, what did Origins score, actually? Can someone double check me, please?
Take.
200 plus. Yeah, that's all I need to see there. I love how the enemies already have access to screen AoEs, by the way. We have access to, like, local AoEs. The enemy can just hit the entire screen. Ow. Yes, 246.72. That sounds about right. Dragon Age Origins is still an insanely good game, despite its flaws. Talk about a luck game, you know? That's a Star Wars game right there. Frankly, Origins should not have been as good as it was. Just to be as blunt about that as I can. Could you stop hitting my entire party every round, please? Wow! Okay! That's a thing that happened. God, the marketing on Origins was terrible. I remember the marketing on Origins. It is one of the reasons I didn't play that game for a long time.
That's that then. Let's move out.
What is we up to? Ah! 7. Okay, we're good. I don't remember the marketing of Veilguard, which I suppose is indicative. Ah! Yeah, I'm not actually joking. I don't remember any marketing for Veilguard. I remember some of the lead-up stuff. I remember paying a fairly large amount of attention to interviews and behind the scenes. But as far as like actually marketing the release, I don't remember anything. This is Hakan Gate? It's freaking huge. Of course it's huge. It acts as the sole entrance to the Empire as a rampart that protects Liberl from foreign threats. After it was destroyed in the war 10 years ago, a much more robust wall was put in its place. Standard military reaction, bigger equals better. Which means that beyond this point is no longer Liberl. Yeah, it's the territory of the Erebonian Empire, which stands beneath the emblem of the Golden Stallion. Enough staring for one day. Let's go meet General Morgan. There's some barracks right to the east side of the gate. Maybe we'll find him in there. Before that, I want you to remove those bracer emblems. These will be pretty if he sees those. Duh. Surprised they didn't do that already. Somehow I feel all weird doing this. Yeah, there's something that doesn't feel right about this. Don't worry, that's proof you've started adjusting to being a bracer. Ah, Mr. Floyd. Hey, Nightwing. Thank you for the sub. As always. It's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be fine and fantastic and wonderful. I hear kittens and rainbows will be here. Rainbow kittens, even. Fallout New Vegas, RPGs, and 4X games. Hang on a second. Think about visiting the Empire. Doesn't look like an invitation felt the necessary paperwork for leaving the country, though. That doesn't matter to me. I just live life on a whim. The only reason I decided to travel the Empire is because it occurred to me. How in the world did you guys get through? The barricade hasn't been lifted on the road yet. We came on an errand from Mayor Maybell from Bose. Maybe you can get us to see General Morgan? Explain. Oh, that's understandable. I can definitely get you to see the General, but unfortunately he's out at the moment. He's actually spearheading a number of searches right now. Looks like your timing is bad. You don't happen to have an idea when he'll return, do you? I think he'll be back sometime today. There's a bar at the rest stop. Why don't you go there? I'll let you know when he gets back. A bar? Why is there a bar in a place like this? Because this is a border with the Empire. The screening process for entering and leaving is really strict. So there's a lot of travelers who have to wait quite a bit. Yeah, you would need a name at a bar. I can only do that per category of RPG, if that makes sense. Because I don't keep track of all RPGs. I keep track of types of RPGs. But sure. Hit the stream brakes. So let's see. Of course, then it stalls up on me. That's the name of the game. Alright, so first we have BRPGs. We don't have a lot of those. However, Oblivion did have a net positive gameplay score. However, it did not have... Oh, no, sorry, you're saying it the opposite. I'm sorry, I inverted that. How many net positive games have higher gameplay than story in RPGs? Okay, so nothing in BRPGs. No shock there. Diablo 3, obvious. Mass Effect 3. Okay, that's it. CRPGs. DOS 2. 4. Colony Ship had higher gameplay than story. Looks like that's it here. And then JRPGs. None. There's some JRPGs with some good gameplay, but none of them have higher gameplay than story. So yeah, I think that's the full total list. DOS 2, Colony Ship, Diablo 3, Mass Effect 3. Those 4. And 2 of those are debatably not RPGs. What a surprise. This is my first time eating Libero's cooking. It was rather delectable. Glad you liked it. You head to town, there's a number of other places where you can eat great Libero cooking as well. You enjoy this trip of yours, alright? That I will do. Believe me. It is the kind of food I can get in a border dive like this. I'm truly in for a feast elsewhere in this land. Well, excuse me for having my bar here in the outskirts of the country. If you're going to feast on the finer things, how about a glass of wine? I know it's not high-end, but the taste is worth the price. Well, then maybe I will. This guy is traveler from the Empire, if you ask me. Good day to you all, my fine friends. You appear to be citizens of Liberl, but may I ask if you were traveling to the Empire? Nope, we're just here on an errand. We're not traveling to the Empire. You're here to be a citizen of Erebonia yourself. What about you? You here to visit the Liberl Kingdom? I'm glad you asked. I am indeed a visitor to Liberl, both for work and for pleasure. And you say you're running an errand, but I can see your true colors. I know exactly who you are. Who are we? You're bracers, no? How'd you know? We removed our emblems. Wait, trying to tell us you're in the same profession? It's true there are guild branches in the Empire, but actually I'm not a bracer. I just know several people in the guild, that's all. There's an air about you that reminds me of them, so I thought I'd ask. There's some excellent deductive reasoning skills you've got. I don't think an amateur could have picked us out of a crowd like that. You sure you're a traveler? Please don't look at me with such suspicious eyes. Those cold, flickering eyes of amber like glass of exquisite brandy. You just make me want to kiss you and hold you in my arms. What? You're a bold one, aren't you? Wait a minute, are you one of those men who likes other boys? What? That's a thing? Is that allowed? I can't help myself when I see something beautiful standing before my eyes. Daughters of serenity, sons of elegance, supernatural melodies, cleansing landscapes, masterpieces and stories to move the soul. And last but not least, the most exquisite in food and drink. For things such as those which pique my interest. So you're a pervert, just as I thought. Yep, definitely a pervert. How dreadful it is that genius is misunderstood in every generation. I feel as if my delicate glass heart is about to be broken. You with your magnificent black hair, please comfort me in my time of need. I'm gonna have to pass. You've already scarred me for life as is. Strange conversation, my David. This one's worth remembering. Look at that kid's face. Hey, you three. Oh, it's the soldier from earlier. General's returned. I spoke to him about the matter. He said he'd meet you now. Really? Yeah, come to the barracks with me immediately. Well, that was much quicker than I thought. Yeah, now at least maybe we'll be able to go find out what's going on. Then let's be off, shall we? What are you following us around for? Your timing is excellent. You didn't miss a beat in exiting behind us. It seemed almost natural. Scarily so. Ha! You noticed. Everything about you all is so interesting, I thought I'd take a gander. Please don't mind me. Carry on, my good gent and mademoiselles. Of course we're gonna mind. I get it. Shoo, shoo. Scrooge. Who was that guy? Seriously, what is his deal? He's not normal, that's for sure. Getting rid of that weirdo is probably better not only for ourselves, but a service to the world at large, too. Humph. To answer Equalitas out loud. So, there's... because of the nature of the very unique nature of VTMB2, we're going to go ahead and play it as immediately as we can, possibly bumping it to the top of the queue, depending on where the move is at that point in time, which is a huge question mark at this point. So, what that means is that we're definitely going to play it at launch without any patches or anything, and we're going to review it exactly as it is at launch, and we will never ever audit it, because it's already vetoed for an audit run. Here's some argument. Was there some kind of trouble with another traveler? No, nothing big like that. Could you let us meet with the general? Yeah, he's inside. Last door on the left. Make sure you don't go wandering. If it's good, I'm going to be extremely shocked. What are the special circumstances? Well, special circumstance number 1. VTMB2 has been a disaster production for years. And I do mean for years. It's bounced studios at least twice that I know of. So that's 3 total studios there. Because no one in the universe cares, Colgrim. The entire universe. You could go searching all the way to the edge of the bubble, and there's still no one there who cares. Anyways, so it's been an extremely troubled production. It's bounced studios constantly. It was supposed to come out a very long time ago. I'm not even sure of the exact timeline at the moment. Mr. Red is proving that he's not listening to me today. Let's see, what else? I suppose you could also mention that it's been funded for so long, I don't know how long it's been fully funded. Because it has been funded since before I kept detailed records on when things were funded by whom. VTMB2 was actually one of a bundle of games. Good morning, Cinematic Sith. That, let's see, Sub-Zero, that would not be a bad idea. VTMB2 has been funded for so long. It was one of the several games that were funded in one big bundle. And a lot of those games didn't come out, or took a long time to come out. And bit by bit, we've been chiseling away at that little list over time, trying to get to the point where we can actually get caught up on it. Don't be too proud of me yet, Cinematic Sith. I'm not being very kind to this game. Anyways, so I'm sick of it being on my books. I'm sick of this. It's been a hallmark for us because it has turned into a caveat emptor for viewers to fund a game that may or may not actually come out. In fact, we've actually already run into a second iteration of this because Subnautica 2 has now been moved from the list over to the veto list and is just kind of sitting over there, and we'll never play that one as well. Just to use a recent example of that. Because, yeah, VTMB2 was funded before it was even canceled the first time, let me put it that way. Before they canceled development of the initial product. So it's been a minute. So we're going to review it the day it comes out, in the format that it is in, the day it comes out, as close to that as we can manage. And whatever score it gets is what it gets for its launch score. Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring. I don't remember. Hang on. It sounds a little mean. Good! Good! I hope my ire is coming out a little bit in my tone here. Because screw that goddamn game. I do feel bad for the current developers of it because they were handed a broken pile of trash that was handed to them from someone else who dumped off a broken pile of trash, which was handed off to them. You get it. Here we go. So it was, let's see. Baldur's Gate 3, Deltarune, which is actually currently funded. Elden Ring was another one. There's Breath of the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, right there on the list. And Head On was another one we were waiting on for a bit there. This is the waiting on list. This is actually funny. It's not as big of a list as I thought. There's a few other things on this list, but those are the big ones. Yeah, honestly, I do not anticipate VTMB2 will be merely bad. I anticipate it will actually get the garbage tag. Yeah, Elden Ring was funded so fast, it was kind of silly. Here on behalf of the mayor? That's right. Very well, come inside. Thank you for seeing us. Wait, I gotta voice him like he's evil. Hi, I'm pure evil. I've been tasked with guarding the Hakan Gate by Her Majesty Queen Alicia. It's an honor to meet you, sir. We are here on behalf of Mayor Maybell. Please pardon our intrusion during such a busy time. No need to apologize. I've known Maybell since she was but a child. Couldn't imagine ignoring her request, much less one from the mayor. Would you please read this first? So it's about the missing air letter, is it? Under ordinary circumstances, that information would be strictly confidential, but considering this is a request coming from her, I'll tell you everything I know. Sweet. Are you happy about something that doesn't concern you? I should keep my mouth shut. Estelle, why are you even in the room for this? No offense, but you're not the charisma character. The mayor appears quite distraught over the situation. We want her to do anything we can to assist her. Let's see. Well, I'm glad to see she's been blessed with some good people around her. We get right down to things and explain the status of our search effort. Actually, hold on. I have one last reason to have spite towards VTMB2. This is presumptive, but based on... I've actually been following the development of this game quite a long time at this point. Based on what I can see, based on how it looks, I would say with high certainty, it's never going to be patched up to acceptability. We will not have a Baldur's Gate 3 situation. We will not have a Cyberpunk. We will not have a No Man's Sky. It will launch, it will clunk crudely onto its face as everyone involved is just done with the project and glad to be rid of it, myself included, and then everyone will move on. That is most likely what's going to happen here. So, there's arguably not even a reason to bother to wait on it. Yeah, and in 20 years, we'll get a crap remake of it. I don't think it will sell particularly well. If anything, it will sell based on star power. The name alone will get its sales. Because there haven't been a lot of VTM games in the last, 10 years at this point. So I guess I haven't updated the site, apparently. Based on what you're saying there, Sub-Zero. So just for you, I will continue to not play this game. That's always the goal, is to not play the game we're currently playing. Yeah, we actually did play Coteries in New York. I did not like that game. And I wanted to. I was walking into it expecting it to actually be good. I was wrong. Dead wrong. Where's Pokemon Violet? Where's Pokemon Violet? Oh, there it is. Oh, right. Sure. I'll just go ahead and scooch this. Yeah, I'm not considering, sorry, Pokemon Violet is going to come in immediately after Pokemon Red, so that's already a thing that's happening. As for your second question, I actually refuse to play Metroid Prime 3 in its current state. I've got better things to do with my time than bother with that. So I am waiting for them to finally do a re-release of it in a modern format, which, bizarrely enough, they continue to be staring unblinking at me. And I am legitimately shocked by that. Like, I honestly thought we would already, as of, like, a year ago, have seen a re-release or a remaster or port of Prime 2 and Prime 3, excuse me. And yet nothing, not even a hint, not even a word. So, I will continue to play chicken with them. What I might end up doing, and this is something I'm getting more likely to do, is just play Prime 1, the remaster, of course. And once I've played Prime 1, the end. And we'll think about Prime 2 and Prime 3 if they ever release it in a proper format. Yeah, it's not like they have never made a remaster of a game and then never re-released it on anything for years and years and years. That's not something Nintendo's ever done. Talos Principle 2, Cyberpunk, Contradictions. Thank you, ISE, as always. I am content to wait on them. I really absolutely refuse to play Prime 3 on the Wii. The only reason I even allowed Prime 3 to be added to the list was under the presumption that it would get a port. That was actually a proviso. So, legally speaking, I'm covered on Prime 3. Prime 2 I could play if it came down to it. I do have Prime 2. Obviously, I own all three. And I could just play it on the GameCube. But I would honestly rather wait for a more modern port on that. But we'll see what happens with Prime 2. The airliner? Ah! The airliner Linde appeared... Nope. The airliner Linde disappeared on the way of the Roland after taking off from the Bose landing port. Presently, we have units searching all areas of the region, but we have yet to come up with anything. So you're saying it's the possibility that it's being caused by monsters or an accident is fairly slim, right? If an airship of that side crashed, it likely would have discovered in the initial search efforts. Yes, that's exactly right. In fact, the flight route between Bose and Roland goes over some plains that allow a commanding view of the land. And of course, the probability of the airliner going down in the Valeria Lake in the ocean is extremely low. I believe to hear it's probably not a worst-case scenario like that. Estelle, shut your mouth! So if these things have been ruled out, then that leaves the door open to the possibility that the airship could have been taken, right? Which makes you think the only remaining motives must be to loot the cargo or demand a ransom for the hostages. In other words, a hijacking. Also, considering the geographical conditions, it could have been a covert operation carried out by the Imperial Army. That'd be really big news if that were the case. What's the matter, General? I was just thinking that's quite an impressive assessment for some civilians. We also considered the possibility that the Imperial Army was involved, so we have enforced strict regulations on the flow of information. An international incident, if taken lightly, could result in another war. But thanks to the small mercies of Aidios, the possibility for another conflict disappeared early this morning. A certain organization sent a letter to the royal family and Orbital Ship Company claiming responsibility for and demanding ransom for the passengers. They go by the name of the Capua family. I think it is. Could it? It certainly appears to be that way. The Sky Bandits, who have been operating in the shadows in the Bose region, are led by 3 siblings of their head. I take it you've heard of them. I've heard of them. We just had a run-in with them in Roland. I can't believe those good-for-nothing thieves managed to create such a big incident in Bose. Estelle, please shut your goddamn trap. Jesus effing Christ. Okay, this is why Estelle is probably a negative. And by probably, I mean definitely a negative. There's stupid, there's stupider, and then there's whatever this is. She's been like this the whole time. There was an incident earlier where it's like, hey, we got to go to town to take our exam. Okay, then we got to town, and then we had to remind her that we're getting an exam. And then there's this part where, like, shortly thereafter that, you know what, I don't feel like enumerating. Let's just move on to this incident. Because in this incident, she has been told 4 times in the last minutes, and there's no, like, there's no hand-waving this, right? These events clearly are happening minutes after each other. And she is so self-sabotaging. And I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, so, like, she's just a stupid idiot. What's the problem? First of all, as I've said many, many times, there is a difference between stupid and well-written stupid. Honestly, in my experience, it's actually very rare to see someone who is well-written to be an idiot. Estelle is not it. Second of all, in the interest of fairness and honesty, it's possible that she is very much on the spectrum and therefore cannot actually, yes, push-ups, that she cannot, yeah, exactly, Coleman, that she can't help herself, right? That she literally is losing her attention span or is drifting or whatever. It doesn't actually matter the specifics. In that case, the other people involved, like Joshua and Shara, both of whom know her very well, should have known better than to bring her into a meeting with a general who is actively hostile towards them. This is not like, haha, you accidentally upset the shopkeep shenanigans. This is the leader of the military of the country they live in, who is already walking up to this, actively hostile towards the organization they represent. There is no excusing this. And yeah, what this boils down to is because plot. I'm with Evo. Similar to Reginald Barkley over in TNG, if she is written to be on the spectrum, I don't think it's done on purpose. And yeah, it's idiot balling. That's exactly what this is, because this is just a way to drive drama. This is the 4th time now that this has just been here to drive drama. Because, yeah, to go back to the Barkley... So, sorry, I should explain that. Over in Star Trek The Next Generation, there's a character called Barkley, who's an awesome character, by the way. He's a great character played by Dwight Schultz, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. At least in, like, top 25 range. And one of the things that people have said for years is, oh my god, it's so great that there's a character who's on the spectrum in Star Trek. But nobody intended that, because when TNG was written, which I remind you was late 80s... Nobody in the writing staff at Star Trek had ever even heard of the spectrum or even whispered the word autism or anything like that, right? I never even conceived of such a concept. Instead, what happened was Michael Piller, in particular, had a personal hand in writing Barkley himself, and he wrote Barkley based on his own personal experiences. So, QED, right? Like, he understood that those kind of character tropes existed in people who we know now were autistic or whatever. They were on the spectrum. I'm going to be generic about that because I don't remember the specifics and I don't want to mislabel. But you get the idea, right? Probably PB Good Fate. Most people think so, yeah, Mr. Red. And so I don't know if he ever got a formal thing because he kind of left the industry back in the 90s at this point. So you see the idea. Barkley was unintentionally a well-written example of someone who was on the spectrum. And because he was well-written, and because he has a believable character based on real-life experience, and because he was played by a wonderful actor, Barkley's amazing. There you are, right? again, that's the Star Wars situation. You have stumbled into having all the right ingredients in the pot. Congratulations. By contrast, Estelle here is probably supposed to be funny. Now, I know I'm ranting about this a lot. You don't have to get defensive, Cinematic Sith, I swear. But it's been aggravating this entire time because God, Estelle she's just idiot balling. And it's a weird aggravation in the plot, considering how much screen time it gets. Especially for someone who is, let's be honest, the main character. And you know what? I can even name another character who has this exact archetype, who has done it both well and badly, depending on the game in question. Sora, over in Kingdom Hearts. Sometimes Sora is actually fine. Sometimes Sora is legitimately awesome, and sometimes Sora makes me want to rip his head off. It depends on the specific execution. Everyone keeps telling me the second game is going to fix so many of my problems with this game. I am immeasurably curious how the second game is going to go. I don't know a jack about that. Anyways, getting on with it. You had a run-in with them in Roland? I heard some of their gang each other in the Roland region, but... yeah, because of you and your big mouth. Isn't this funny? I thought the way we were able to analyze the situation was strange for mere civilians, but I never would have guessed a girl and a couple kids were bracers. Da-da-da-da! No, push-ups. He was a person. And then, who are you calling kids? You're 16! Just for the record, Mayor Maybell did in fact request we come here and talk to you. Silence, deceivers. Get in here, man. He looks pretty pissed. Yes, and it's your fault! God damn it! And she's still acting like it's his problem. Just what is your problem, old man? Trying to brush us off like bugs. Look, I'm already irritable enough right now. Having to deal with this nonsense is not helping. Hiding your identity so you can try and finagle information out of me. It's because you pull underhanded actions like that. The bracers can't be trusted. Just where you got off calling it finagling. It's your own fault since you didn't share the information with the guild to begin with. Nonsense. Who in their right mind would leave an incident this big in the hands of a mere civilian group? I mean, he's an idiot too, to be clear. He doesn't get a pass here. All the stupid things Maple could have tried to pull, hiring a bunch of kids like this and getting away with a search party. How about you cut it with the crap, General? Why do you think we've had to come all the way from Roland to begin with? It's because when it comes down to it, you military morons can't do your job. What did you just say? For the past few months, you've known about a string of burglaries which seem to be the work of Sky Bandits. And knowing full well it was them, dumped the workload onto the guild instead of having looked into it yourselves like you should have. And now the second this incident happens, you get on their high horse with an attitude, and you've got nothing to show for it. No hostages, not even a location of the missing airliner. Don't you think that's an embarrassment to the entire kingdom? Silence, girl. The military is an organization that runs on discipline and does not take actions on a whim. Sir, citation needed. Unlike a group I know of who didn't think ahead and let the Sky Bandits escape, so enough with your insolence. So you're really looking for a fight, aren't you? How sad it is to see such discord. Strife brings nothing to be borne, but only extends the barren wilderness within our hearts. Let me sing a requiem for you all, to soothe your parched souls. A gentle yet wistful tune to bathe your brittle spirits and cause the deserts of your heart to blur. Up, brightly shooting stars leaving trails in the skies. Roll credits. Like a guiding light, they show me the way to your eyes. This yearning passion tears my heart in twain. And the cruel moon mocks my pain. If this... You gotta care. You gotta share. Like 5 people are gonna get that. Yeah, we're all stun locked. He's a bard. What's it called? Fascination, I think, is the name of the ability. Where he plays a song and then people can't not look at it. It's effectively a taunt in D&D. What is that which is most precious above all? It's love and peace, baby. Can we ignore him, please? I think it's about time for the search party to be returning with their reports. Right, General. I should get back to my duties. Make sure you don't let those kids in again. Oh, and cancel further checks on travelers on the ice and road. Having these kids around any longer will just be an eyesore. He's still right behind us, isn't he? No matter which country you visit, military men lack romanticism. You lot, on the other hand, appear to appreciate my aesthetic sense. You know, maybe we should go ourselves. Yeah, good idea. We had a bit of trouble, but we did manage to get some information. After we head back to Bose, how about we think about our future plan of attack? Where are you going? Wait for me. I mean, please wait for me. No! Let me try to introduce myself again. I am Olivier Linheim, a wandering bard and musician by trade. As you already know, I'm an Erebonian touring you fair liberal. I'm Estelle, and wait a minute. Why do I have to introduce ourselves to you? Easy, Estelle. He did intercede for us back there. I actually have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce Bose. I am assuming, because this is Japanese, that it's probably A instead of Bose, right? Because in English it would be just Bose. I'm Joshua. I'm Sherazard. I was getting pretty heated. I'm glad you stepped in before something really bad happened. Let me say thanks. You've got nothing to thank me for. I only did what any person who loves beauty and peace would have done. However, if you insist, how about a date for a day? I'm going to have to pass on that. First of all, I don't have any free time. Alright then, I guess I'll accept Joshua as a substitute. Well, Joshua? Have to do with any of this. Please don't involve me in your questionable humor. Well, that's odd. I didn't mean it as a joke. Saying that makes you even more questionable. Wait a minute. How come you didn't invite me on a date? You? I don't know how to put this, but you're a bit lacking in the sexy department. That is the third distinct character to go out of their way to tell Estelle that she's frumpy. You might want to think about taking a lesson or two from your friends here. Excuse me for not being sexy. What do you mean by saying I should take lessons from Joshua? I'm down, Estelle. I think you're cute enough the way you are. I guess it's true. You are a bit lackluster in the sexy category. Why am I playing this game? What did you just say? Oh, good grief. Anyway, like I said before, we're busy. I'm sorry there's not a better way to thank you, but we've got to be going. How about you take me along with you to the city of Bose? My first time in Liberal. After all, I'd like to request a guide. That's all you want, then I don't mind. Shara? Wait just a second. Least we can do, and we're heading the same place anyway. Because acting as a guide is one of Abracer's many duties. Alright, I guess we're stuck with him until then. Yeah, imagine if you walked up to your girlfriend and it was like, I don't know, you're lacking in the sexy department. Hang on, let me call up my extremely, incredibly real Canadian girlfriend here. Hang on. Hello, oh god, I've never come up with a name for my... hello, Canadia, there we go. Or Cania. Did you know that you're incredibly sexy? Or, I mean, not sex, shoot. How did he say it? You're lacking in the sexy department. There we go, that was it. You're breaking up with me? Well, just for that, I'm gonna go start dating Australia instead. Oomph. So anyways, let me introduce you to my extremely real Australian girlfriend. Don't worry, Joshua, I'll save you from his perverted attentions if he tries something funny. What is it exactly you think he'll try? Please don't refer to me like I'm some sort of ferocious beast. I'd rather you call me a hunter of love. Even Love Stealer wouldn't be that bad of a title either. Are you right in the head? So how about it, everyone? Should we let... Okay, I actually have a random question. This is kind of a spoiler. Is he in Reverie? I'm counting on you all to get me there safely. Let's be off. Who died and made you leader? Wait a minute. I'm not done warning you about the grisly fate that awaits you if you sully Joshua's innocence. He is in Reverie, okay. I know he's in Cold Steel. I've actually played one of the Cold Steel games. For some reason. Matt Mercer? Oh, wow. That's a choice. I mean, let's be honest. I am probably not the only person who thinks of him as the closest thing we have to a main character in this franchise. At the very least, he's like the Sid of the franchise. Right. So I'm going to deliberately not remove my stuff. Not that I don't trust the walkthrough, but I don't trust the walkthrough at all, because I've experienced walkthroughs in my life. Recently, even. And as we all know, Gothic obviously just gave me the worst possible walkthrough, so... Plus, I like to do my own tests. That's all. It'll only take a few minutes. Hello, Elazar. Wait, Olivier's about to leave the party? Who cares? Come on, game. Like, that's barely indicative. Oh, sure. Olivier, I need you to take off all your clothes. You know, I actually don't remember how they pronounce it. I assume it's Olivier, because it looks French. It's Bose, is it? It's more urban than I imagined. That building over there, it's Bose Market, no? They seem to be quite knowledgeable. You sure this is your first time in the barrel? I know what you're thinking. Hang on. Weren't you listening to the voice acting in whichever Cold Steel you played? No. I read much faster than they talk, especially when I'm reading at my pace. When I'm going for a room, I tend to mute the game or just keep the game volume on low and, you know, read at my pace, whether they're talking or not. So I legitimately don't remember any of the voice acting. I just remember that it was there. So, there's a paper, one published by your very own Liberal News, no less. A guidebook. They sell such things? I don't know how to say it, but we live in a really convenient age. So do you intend to go shopping at the Bose Market now? Yep, and after doing a bit of window shopping, I plan to dress up and dine out. According to the guide, there's supposed to be a 3-star restaurant in town. Right, the place we had it with the mayor. I mean, it says, I guess this is the place. Only 3 stars? Pugh! Peasants' food. The Antirose, authentic liberal cuisine, or so they say. Indeed, no doubt this is the place. I'm quite looking forward to it. It's supposed to cost a pretty mirror if you try to go with a full-course meal. I have to recommend a normal bar any day over this. Worry not, my fair lady, I'm rich. If that's not enough, I'll earn more with my superb skills. You're not talking about your songs and musical renditions, are you? You actually earn mirror with that crap? I've starred as the main opera singer at the Great Theatre in the Erebonian capital before. If I remember right, I once earned 1,000,000 mira in a single night. Big fat liar. Alright, everyone, good work. I guess this is farewell until fate brings us together once more. Adios, amigos. Hang on a second. You're German, not Spanish! J'accuse! What horror have we unleashed on this poor innocent city? Is everyone from Erebonia weirdo like that? I don't think the idea of... I don't like the idea of... I don't think I like the idea of that being the Empire stereotype. What I'm trying to say is I think the majority of people are quite serious. Yes, they are German! There's no joy. There's only the productivity. Very, very Prussian, very organized. So what you're saying is he's simply a weirdo because he's an artist. Hold up there. If artists of the world heard that, they'd be less than pleased. We need to report the information we got out of the general to Lugren. And maybe we should let Mayor Melville know, too. So we talked to the mayor, then we talked to... Or sorry, we talked to the Lugren, then we talked to the mayor. All artists are weirdos, can confirm. Did you find out anything about the incident? You bet. Valuable information at that. Right, thank you for reminding me to give a negative to you, Estelle. I almost forgot. Oh yes, there's beer, there's sausage. They don't taste good, of course. It's very efficient. You drink beer, you eat sausage, that's all you eat, all day, every day. You go back to the factory and you work. And you go home and you enjoy your grey and bland entertainment. Yeah, it's Archon Loaf, all the way down. Look, all I'm saying is, if she wants a positive, she's going to have to earn it. Listen, my girlfriend is actually German. She has no sexy. She simply walks up and says hello, and I say hello back. And she says, would you like to engage in procreation to populate the species? To which I say no. She says, okay. And then we sit and we stare at the wall as it slowly desiccates, just like the world we live in, as all of our lives dissolve into the same grey, oozing muck that we crawled out from. Hang on, I'm getting a little more Eastern European here. Anyways, my actual favorite stereotype, because all stereotypes are jokes, let's be honest with ourselves, about German people, is the German who's just like, sounds like they're violently angry, and that's just how they sound to some other people in other languages. That's just how they talk. Yes, Russia has invaded Germany and vice versa. At the same time... Oh, no, France. Sorry, France is invading Russia. And Russia's invading Germany. And Germany's invading Belgium. And Britain's like, no, not this time. No. We will don the pleasure helmets. Yep, it's a closed circle of invasion. Everyone, it's Chinese chairs, right? Okay. All the Germans are now French, all the French are now Russian, all the Russians are now German. There we go. Boom. Ein Schmetterling. I love it. This ein Schmetterling. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize to all my German viewers. Okay, so negative given. Moving on. Sky Bandits and the Capital family. You're right, that is valuable information. Looks like we'll be able to decide on a policy for the Bracer Guild related to this. I'm surprised to hear that General Morgan's even bigger Bracer here than I originally thought. I was surprised myself. Oh. Enroll at the job of a Bracer is pretty much respected by everyone, so to encounter someone who hates Bracers that much. Don't worry about it, General Morgan's an exception. Under normal circumstances, the Royal Army and the Guild maintain a pretty good cooperative relationship. However, it looks like this time we have to deal with a lot more than you bargained for. I guess we'll have to try and make steady efforts while maintaining a low profile, but it looks like these recent bulk releases are also the work of Sky Bandits, right? Yep, taking into account the incident in Roland, it's pretty clear who's behind these. To call them burglars is one thing, though, because most of the stuff that's been stolen hasn't been all that valuable. I never thought they would go so far as to commit a heinous crime like hijacking the Linde. You mentioned that, it is rather odd. The burglary that happened in Roland was also rather mild in comparison. Hijack an airliner and then turn around and demand a ransom for the royal family. The risks there are greater than the potential reward. We should probably do more on the investigative side. Agreed. Let's leave bye forever bye. Oh, actually, while we're in town, while I'm thinking about it. No, I'm not reading these. I'm actually trying to find someone. I guess I could read these. I think I get the point of your question, Malkablade. Let me see if I'm interpreting this correctly. You're asking if we've ever run... Oh, this is probably her. You're asking if I've ever run into a situation where an idiot ball was done well. Put very, very simply. The answer is no. By definition, idiot ball is bad writing. That's the whole point of why we call it that. If someone is being stupid and well written, then it is a stupid character who is well written. Again, rare, but that does happen. Hello, cat. Can I help you? There's no problem. Have the chicken. Let me do this for you. Do what? I'll teach you how to make omelets. That's right. We can have Auntie Rose omelets. Yeah, by definition, idiot balling is bad writing. If you reach the point of it being an idiot ball, it's bad writing. It's the same. It's one of the reasons why I distinguish the difference between drama and fake drama. Drama can be interesting. In fact, generally, it usually is interesting. Fake drama, by definition, is not. Please, Estelle. No, this is just a little pre-cooking advice, so don't take it the wrong way. But please read the recipe before you try it. Oh, what are you trying to say? I'm the worst cook ever? That you just then make sure you measure how much seasoning you put in. A pinch of salt doesn't mean you should drop a fistful in there, you know. I'll show you a fistful. Also, haha. She's a bad cook. Krankenschwester. I love German. Poor Neelix. And yeah, as usual, the problem with Neelix isn't really Neelix, is it? Yeah. I'd honestly be pretty protective. No joking. Come on, Missy, I'm begging you. Please let us in. If I could just get a comment from the mayor, I'd be on my merry little way. Yep, that's right. Of course, I need a photograph, too. I'm sure the mayor would be flattered, but she's extremely busy. I'm going to have to ask all without an appointment to leave. I hope you can understand the situation. Come on, please. For an incident this huge, we hardly know anything about the circumstances surrounding it. Ah. Yeah, there we go. I have an obligation to inform the readers. What about the readers? We can probably reach double the number if we have Mayor grace the cover. She's said to be very beautiful. Isn't she young? Dorothy, why'd you have to say something like that? Huh? But it was you who was saying the same thing. Remember? You said if we didn't have any news to go on, we could lure customers to buy the magazine by featuring the sexy mayor on the cover. And I'm going to tell you this right in front of this other person because nobody in this game apparently has self-awareness or the capacity for basic social cues. Aren't you a couple of instant visitors? I'll make sure to tell Mayor about the details of our conversation. The moment, however, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Wait, this is just a misunderstanding. Please leave. Fine. So are we going to be okay not getting a photograph of the mayor done? I love ideas in my center. Just keep your mouth shut. Neil, wait for me. Good afternoon, Lila. Oh, it's you bracers again. Did you just return from the Hacken Gate? Yeah, something like that. So, those two you just turned away? Bunch of unscrupulous individuals. Really? Those miscreants said they planned to use the mayor to make some quick mirror. As long as I'm here to protect my mistress, I won't allow that to happen. My God. Could you imagine a mayor having an affair with their maid? Scandalous. I am deadly serious. This because it's my duty. Anyway, why don't you come inside? The mayor's waiting for you. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Speaking of anime, I don't know which Cold Steel game it is. Maybe one of you in chat knows. I saw a clip once, which was titled, "This is why I don't skip cutscenes anymore" in the Trails of series. And the cutscene started off with one of the high school kids rushing up. It was one of the girls, I think. She rushed up, she trips, like, no! And she trips, and then it's like, pause, skip, fades to black, comes back in, everything's on fire. There's troops in the street. Oh my God, what horrible thing has happened? And it's like, what did I miss? What did I miss? What happened? Oh God! Hello, cat. Was it daybreak? Okay. General Morgan has come to visit on several occasions. He's a little difficult to describe, but I can say he's a respectable man. Is he? In both a good and bad sense, he has the temperament of a military man. I mean, given his age, he probably fought in the war, so I guess I can't blame that. Dealing with complaints from the citizens, late delivery of goods to the Bose market because the airspace became a fly zone, servicing the sewer facility, selecting a congratulated gift for Her Majesty the Queen, harm incurred by monsters on the new Ansel path. And will all this paperwork finally end? My God, Mr. Red, it's you. Hello? Oh, are you back already? You look pretty busy. Would it be better if we came back at a later time? No, you're fine. So you found out something from General Morgan, right? I'd like to hear about it. Wait a minute, that makes you Lord Red. I need to stop calling you Mr. Red. Oh god, no kidding, Aunt Diddy. Hang on, let me just leave this and come back. Oh god, we're being invaded! Where did the aliens come from? Listen, go smooch your maid. I mean, wife. I mean, whatever, I don't care. Good work. I feel like I have a much clearer picture of the situation now. First there was a hijacking by Sky Bandits, now ransom demand. More serious than I originally anticipated. If the General hadn't found out we were bracers because of you, I think we could have learned more. But that's alright, I'm just glad to know it wasn't a crash. With this info, I should be able to take effective countermeasures within the city. I know, right? I need to think of a way to inform the citizen of Bose and deal with the families of the passengers. I imagine that'll be quite a difficult task, given you're already as busy as you are. That's just the duty of a mayor. Yeah, I'm Lord Dread. Well, no, I'm Lord Dread. I ask you to continue your investigation of the incident? Of course, that was our plan to begin with. We already had a run-in with the Sky Bandits before. Yeah, that's right. If you didn't miss that, the Sky Bandits are a freaking Act 1 villain. Except in this case, like you could tell the Sky Bandits were probably supposed to be the Act 1 villain, and then when they split the games up, they kind of became the, like, Act 2 and also 3 villains. It's really weird. The structure of the whole game kind of goes a little wonky because of the split. I'm not sure if it's a negative, it's just, it's kind of... so there's Dad to find, we need to deal with these Sky Bandits. What's with the look, Joshua? I was just thinking, and no matter which way I look at things, I can't believe it. Oh god, push-ups. That Dad could get beaten by a bunch of Sky Pirates. Yeah, really. Basing my judgment on the ability of the group that appeared in Roland, I'm going to agree with you there. Cassius could have easily dealt with a group of that caliber. Come on, Joshua. You too. You're giving him way more credit than he deserves. He's pretty good, I'll give you that, but I think it would be a bit of a stretch for him to take on an entire group. Do you mind if I ask you something? Trying to tell me your father was aboard the airliner? Oh, I didn't mention that. I'm embarrassed to say it, but yeah, he was. Not to mention he was a bracer, too. His name's Cassius Bright. Did you say Cassius freaking Bright? Yeah, that's another thing. I've actually wondered for a while, is Estelle really that stupid? Sorry, let me start that question over. Is Estelle really that sheltered? That might be a better question. Like, Cassius is literally a continent wide. He's one step away from being a superhero, right? I don't mean in terms of like he can fly around and shoot lasers out of his eyes. I mean the fact that everybody knows who Superman is, right? People in Made-Up-A-Stan are like, oh my god, it's Superman. Like, everyone knows who Cassius is. Yeah, why? Do you know my dad or something? I never met him in person, but I heard a great deal about him. Sorry, I just don't know what to say. Yeah, actually, Blake Tripol. Everyone knows who the Warrior Light is, and if they don't, they're like, wait. We were playing Baldur's Gate 3 just last night, and there's an encounter where if you aggro something, rather than it actually starting combat, the enemy just runs away. And we all thought about how weird that was because of the nature of how that game is structured. But if you think about it, it's perfectly logical, right? Like, if you're just walking along, doing your business, doing your patrol, and all of a sudden, like, an eldritch blast comes out of the shadows and hits you across the face, your first reaction is probably going to be like, I'm out! And then you see it's the heroes, and it's like, nope! There it is. I'm very sorry, I can empathize with what you've been going through. If there's anything I can do to help clear up this incident, I'm at your disposal. Anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask. It'll take me away from this paperwork. Actually, I have one thing. Could you go make out with your wife, like, right now? No, I don't want to watch. I just want you two to do it. As soon as we mentioned Dad's name, she got all surprised. You're right, but I guess I can imagine where she's coming from. The mayor and general have known each other for a long time, after all. Let's not worry about that right now. Real question is, where do we go from here? Just searching around blindly for the airliner and bandits probably won't do anything with it. I mean, if that's all it takes, then the army would have found them a long time ago. Huh? What's the matter with you two? Estelle, you've matured. If it had been the same you as before, you probably said something like, let's just comb the entire region. I never thought I'd see the day when those words would come out of your mouth either. My heart's too full of emotion for words. What are you trying to say? You can be so rude sometimes, I hope you know. We were complimenting you, Estelle. You're an idiot. Unfortunately, like, roll up the Bose region is enormous. I'm really hoping for a clue right about now. Clue, huh? Alright. Wasn't that Niall and Dorothy we saw in the front of the palace earlier? He seemed pretty starved for a story, but he's got to know something by now, right? It's true he arrived in Bose a little before we did, so I think it may be worth talking to him. I wonder where they went. Yep, she said one sensible thing, and the other two characters were shocked by it to the point of actually stopping and staring. Wow. I mean, I understand. If she said something logical, I'd immediately assume she was been replaced by a changeling or something similar. That's actually an interesting idea in its own weird way. Cassius going completely out of his way to completely isolate his daughter from his life. Because, you know, he's a superhero. He doesn't want to put any demands on her. Especially since, you know, he's a sole parent. Okay, that's a bad sign, Blade Tabal. If you're having issues, holy crap. Yeah, only parent while also being extremely busy because, similar to the aforementioned Warrior of Light, he can only be in one place at a time. First time I've actually seen that thing. I was actually looking for this earlier. I guess I was just looking in the wrong area. Well, he literally just one-shot Joshua there.
We're good to go.
Ah, this game.
Oh, are we done already?
And he didn't even drop it. Man, could you imagine playing a game like this while having a relatively low tolerance for anime stuff? Nope, I just missed it. Where the hell is it? I guess we'll look this one up. Figured we'd just get some quick and easy stuff, but I guess not. I mean, honestly, one of the biggest things I've been dreading about the Sky trilogy for the longest time is Sky 1. Not only do I already know what I'm in for, but I've kind of already covered this. I've just done an up-to-date review. I mean, there's a lot, and I don't really mean this as a negative. There's a lot of generic anime RPGs out there. Like a lot. I mean, hell, remember when we were covering, I don't remember what it was. It was one of the recent Gamescom. It was Gamescom in Cologne. We were covering that, and do you remember how many completely generic anime games were there that you probably don't even remember any specifics of because they were generic anime games? It is interesting that this is the one that took off. Now, having said that, I do actually have a theory about one of the reasons why it did. Okay. Actually, no, Melkor Blade. Remember, that connected world building didn't exist when the first game was out. When the first game was the only game that was out. So why did this game take off? I wouldn't call Estelle really powerful as of this game. I don't know if she will become that. She's not a Thimbo. Yeah, there's a reason I saved before I did this. Ow. Ow. I mean, I know I've said this recently even, but there's a reason Xenoblade 2 is the best selling of the Xenoblades. I mean, obviously there's the Switch boost bump, although that didn't really seem to push Xenoblade 3 above it. So, kind of irrelevant. What is Estelle's strength? incest. You know, I'd like to argue that. And we died before we could heal. That's actually funny. I mean, yeah. To be quite frank, as of this moment in time, she's nothing. I don't really mean that as an insult. She's just a level 1 fighter. No, not a level 2 fighter. Not at this point. She's a level 1 fighter. Yeah, I know I've said this a lot recently. That is a range limit? But there is a value in a good editing pass to basically everything, as Mr. Red can attest to right now, in fact. Ow. Still not close enough. Really? That's awful, actually. See if I lined this up correctly.
Seems you came up short.
Okay. All right. No, that's done. Hell out of here. So what I mean by level 1 fighters, obviously that sounds stat-wise, and I apologize, that's actually not how I meant that. I meant that that's her character right now. She is she's a level 1 fighter who dumped her int stat. That's her character. Now, you're probably thinking, that doesn't sound like much of a character, and you're right, of course. But my reason for that, my reason for saying that is, I do believe she will actually have a character by the end of this game. I don't know how much of one, I don't know how many good, but there will be a character there, right? The problem is, and I do think this is a failing of this game. I don't know if it's true in the future games, but I do think there's a failing of this game, and I just said it, they needed more of an editing pass. They insist on showing every single step on a journey, even when so many of those steps are needless and or redundant. So, in other words, we haven't reached the point in which she has established her character yet, whereas many games will try to establish a person's character much, much earlier. Let me try to display this visually. If this is the establishing sequence of a character, right? So here's like who this person is. Falcom in this game will do this instead. And so the effectively one story beat, the one hook that establishes who this person is and what she is and what she's about, is stretched out across a huge portion of this game. Now they can afford to do that because they don't have a publisher. But at the same time, oof. Let's get a heal in because that hurt like hell. I remember most of this game. I'm going to be surprised if there's something I forgot. Go turn that in. Turn that. Anything new? Yes, actually. Another monster, and another monster. I mean, not to go too far into this, but Joshua already has more of an established character than Estelle does. He's more reserved, he's quieter, he has issues with his own emotional maturity, and issues connecting with whatever he's feeling or thinking in a given situation. He's a cold fish, for lack of a way to put that, but a cold fish who seems to be positively inclined. We would normally call someone like him a high-functioning sociopath, but that's getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves here. You get the general idea, though. He also is very analytical, clearly higher tier than he's portraying himself at being, in terms of at least his mind, if not his body. Stuff like that. And, of course, Shira, well, she's the ace who is currently struggling under the weight of the legacy that she's trying to carry. That is to say, Cassius's. She is very good, reasonably high tier, and very young for what she is and for how high of a rank she is. What am I doing? What am I doing? Great. Meanwhile, Estelle... Oh my god, I want to eat that right now. Look at it. It's like jelly with whipped cream and a cherry on top. That's so simple, yet Yeah, Shira is in many ways our Obi-Wan character. They've added a bit of flavor to her to make her not just, you know, Obi-Wan, but that is kind of the direction she's in. Yeah, if you forced me, if you put a gun to my head, which you like to do, and I was forced to characterize Estelle right now, I would say she is stupid. She has absolutely no self-control on any level. I think I'd stop there, at least at the point we're at right now. Yeah, no kidding. Does anyone remember where these idiots are? I'm at the point of just checking every door now. I'm currently looking for the reporter and Dorothy. It's just at the bar. How the hell did I miss them? Ah, that's how I missed them. Because I was looking for both of them. This ain't a joke, you know? Ugh. Well, we found him, but he's drunk off his ass. Is having the article rejected really that much of a shock to his system? He's just acting like the man he is. Men are pigs, after all. He seems to have forgotten that alcohol is a drink to be consumed by, not a drink to be... oh, excuse me, I misread that. Alcohol is a drink to be consumed, not a drink to be consumed by. You would know, Shira! Don't they call you Bottomless, Shira? Oh, please. Bottomless is much more suitable for a woman like Aina. I, on the other hand, can hold my liquor. No matter how much I may drink, my face and disposition remain unreddened. To dare group a fun-loving drinker like myself in the same category as this clumsy lush. Oh, come on. When you get drunk, you lose it completely, and everyone around you gets a heck of a show. Admit it. It's certainly true that Aina is like a bucket to share a sieve. I don't know how you look at it, they're both pretty bottomless. Sensing disrespect, children. Where am I? Oh, good, you're awake, sort of. Drinking so much is not good for your health, you know. Oh, my head. What the... You're the bracer training, aren't you? Oh my god, what the hell am I doing in Roland? I made my way to Bose. What are you mumbling about, you sponge? You are in Bose, and so are we. I wouldn't mind seeing a bottomless Shira. I'm kidding. She's too young for me. Add another 20 years on there, I'll think about it. Oh, well, damn. Don't scare me like that. I see you got a lovely lass with you. My name's Sherazard Harvey, and the pleasure's all yours, I'm sure. I'm the mentor of these two. Sherazard, you the infamous Silver Streak by any chance? Oh, you humbled me, sir. I take it you've heard of me then. Only rumors, I'm afraid, but yes, I know your name. One of the top young bracers, if I'm not mistaken. Which means you three are here to investigate the incident as well, I suppose. Oh, so you do have some brains left in there after all that booze. I'm impressed. You found anything out? You're sorry about the mayor's house. You seem pretty troubled. Damn, you saw that? Yeah, I was looking for clues and couldn't find any. That's what I figured. Damned Army's regulations on the spread of information really restrict what I'm able to learn anyway. If I try to consult General Morgan at the Hawken Gate directly, I'll be held up for inspection for who knows how long. So I figured I'd at least try to score an interview with the legendarily voluptuous mayor, but the maid turned me away outright. And top it all off, that useless girl kept screwing up everything. Everything! Oh, great ideos. Don't know what I do to deserve this shabby life. We did try to get an exclusive on the mayor's chest. If you want information that badly, we could share some of ours with you. Yeah? We're actually investigating the incident on Mayor Maybell's behalf right now. So naturally, we met with the mayor and General Morgan too, for that matter. Holy crap, you serious? Yep, totally. Score! The goddess gets a point. Blessed be the bounty of Ideos. Please, I beg of you, tell me everything, every last detail. Well, I'm glad to, aren't you forgetting something now? Information ain't free, you know. We'll scratch your back. We need to scratch ours first. And get your look off your face. I totally do not mean that literally. One mirror or something? My research funds are long exhausted at this point, I'm sorry to say. We're not interested in your money. We just want to find it. We just find it fascinating. You made your way to Bose right after the incident occurred. Seems like you might have heard some interesting things yourself, that being the case. Here I thought you were a lice kid. By a lice kid, I mean a nice kid. Turns out you were a little leech like me. Tell you what I know, but rest assured, it's not big news by any stretch of the imagination. As long as it's related to the incident, no matter how trivial it may seem, I'll take it. Just don't be stingy. Give it to us straight, okay? I'm fine, I'll tell you everything. On my honors as newsman. Got 2 clues to share, so you're taking notes, I suggest you get out your pen and paper. Way to go, Joshua. You're on a roll. Well, if you ever get started being a bracer, we don't have a bright future in racketeering. First clue is in the form of an eyewitness report from the village of Ravenu to the west. Talked to a villager who had just come to Bose for a visit, and she told me something very interesting. Apparently she knows a kid who saw a huge shadow flying overhead on the night of the incident. Huge shadow flying overhead. Yep, airship, I told them. Maybe even that missing one. The army checked it out and found absolutely nothing. Aw, you meanie. He raised her hope only to dash him straight away. So you're saying somebody saw something, but it was probably unrelated to anything? That's what I'm saying. I warned you it wasn't big news. A lot of trouble to get this sad morsel, too, what with the information embargo in place and all. It's the second time you've said that in the same cutscene. Empty text. Noun. The other thing I've heard is that the military's intelligence division is on the move. Intelligence division? Heard rumors about them. It's a newly royally sanctioned branch of the army in charge of intelligence gathering and dissemination. That's the one, yeah. Supposedly they're so elite they can't even stand toe-to-toe with the royal bodyguards. The man they put in charge, Colonel Richard, is apparently quite the whiz kid. With him on the case, they say this incident is as good as solved already. Doesn't seem like your information will be of much use to us in our investigation. Yeah, well, I can't say I didn't warn you. So I couldn't help much on your end. But a promise is a promise. I scratched. Now it's your turn. Of course, a deal is a deal. Explain. Capital is Skybed. It's a ransom demand to the Royal House and the Airship Corporations. Good goddess, that's exactly what I needed. That's the missing link I've been killing myself to find. Caught your fancy, did it? Absolutely, I could definitely write my article now. I've been wasting my time getting drunk here. I gotta find Dorothy. Post haste. See you later, you wonderful people. You bye. Boobs are great, bye. Wow, his spirits certainly lifted fast. Well, he was chasing a big story pretty unsuccessfully until we came along. It's only natural. I'm glad we could help him out. Now look at you, Mr. I'll break your kneecaps if you don't talk, to Mr. Nice Guy in under a minute. Talk about a split personality. Stop thinking weird things about me. Joshua doesn't have a split personality. That was Xenogears and FF7. And you know what? Let's stop there. I was just negotiating. A little give and take, nothing more. And let's skip Torment. A bad boy exterior with a good boy inside, or is it the other way around? Either way, I'm sure the girls love it. Anyway, I guess we've only really dealt with scrupulous people this far. We're pretty lucky in that regard. Start dealing with weirdos. That's when you have to bust out some really questionable negotiation techniques. Like torturing people. Why are you looking at me when you said it like that? Anyway, that aside, was anyone else a little bothered when Nao talked about the huge flying shadow thing? I wouldn't support from Revenue. I'd say there's a strong chance there's something to it. Ugh. If the army already checked it out. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like the army's totally infallible. They could have missed something. It wasn't General Morgan himself, after all, but one of his men, and some of those guys are pretty thick-headed. That is true. Probably worth looking into. Certainly can't hurt at any rate. You two are starting to get the hang of this, I see. Revenue is a small village in the west. It thrives on fruit cultivation and exporting. Here's the directions. Here's some more directions. What do I think of the battle system? I think it's bad at best. I haven't sat down because I literally haven't had time yet in order to do so and really collated my thoughts on it. But at the moment, I'm thinking like probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 negatives for the battle system. Why are there red dots over there? Do you see that? I literally can't go over there. Yeah, I've been encountering the resolution bug a lot. Periodic, too. As in, only happening periodically. I don't have the CP to attack anything, so let's not even try that. Oh my god, it's red-haired guy. The orbment system is interesting, but how do I explain this? Okay, let's use FF7 as a comparison point. Think about FF7 and the materia system for just a second. Okay, just put it in your mind. Okay. Now think about the materia system and gear you have access to by, say, the end of Midgar, right? So as you're going through the Shinra Tower. Okay. That's what I think of the orbment system in this entire game. Now that makes sense. Half of a game, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I mean by that is it feels like the beginnings of an interesting system. But I honestly don't think throughout the course of this game it ever got to the point of actually being all that interesting in and of itself. Does that make sense? Sherazard, is that you? What's an unlikely place to run into the Silver Streak? Right back at you. I thought you were at the Royal City, but here you are looking into the airliner incident? Nah, I'm here on some chump errands. But speaking of the incident, I heard it was the work of the Sky Bandits. Still, if you're here on the job, I guess I don't have to worry about it myself. Good luck to you. Is that all you got to say? I'm sure you've heard Cassius might have been taken hostage, right? Cassius Bright taken hostage? Don't make me laugh. One man's not going to be beaten by the like of Sky Bandits. I'd be saying that is severely mistaken. I'd like to believe that too, but I wonder who that guy is. I don't know, but he seems to fit the mold for a bracer. By the way, who are these brats you've got tagging along with you? Okay, a bunch of newbies to me. Well, I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear that these brats are Cassius's kids. So that's a surprise. Alright, so these are the old man kids, huh? Hard to believe it. What are you looking at us like that? This boy with the black hair is one thing, but the girl looks like an amateur. You sure she's really Cassius's daughter? Wanna try saying that again with my staff in your teeth? Yeah, she's the bona fide daughter of Cassius Bright. I have to warn you, her bite is as good as her bark. Citation needed. I'm just his adopted son. Is that a fact? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. Take it easy, Sherazard. Be careful not to let these brats drag you down. Yeah. Make sure not to rush into any trouble yourself. I'll keep those words in mind. Bye. What's with that guy? He really pisses me off. So that was the Heavy Blade Agate? Huh? Heavy Blade Agate, what a stupid name. Yeah, Agate Crossner, senior bracer in the Bracer Guild. He works in all regions and isn't affiliated with any specific branch. His massive blade is said to be capable of slicing a monster in two with a single slash. Isn't he, like, a tank? Not a deeps. I'll just say right now, he's one tough customer. Whatever, I don't care about tough he is. He's still a rude jerk. I don't think, how does he know Dad anyway? He seems to think highly of Dad's ability, but even so, he didn't seem to like him all that much. There are a number of things in his past I can't go into. And those things are the reason why he feels that way about your father. I couldn't care less about someone rude like that. Let's hurry to Ravenous Village. You know another game this game is reminding me of? Xenogears. Now, that probably sounds like a compliment. One of the biggest problems Xenogears had was the fact that they just had so much text. Honestly, too much. And I know what you're thinking. Hang on, wasn't Xenogears a rushed and crunched production? Yeah, exactly. For those of you who don't know, for those who never worked in the business or never done writing yourself, editing, that is to say, taking 500 words and condensing them to 50, that takes time. It is actually easier and quicker to just type out the full sequence, if that makes any sense. To just throw the word vomit onto the page and let it be. It takes time and effort to then parse that down without losing the meaning of the words, right? Anybody could take a hatchet to a sentence and just chop it up, and all you're going to get is nonsense. It takes work and effort and a lot of care and time in order to edit it down without losing anything. That's one of the reasons why editing is such a valuable profession, and if you ever find a good editor, then that's a really good thing. Yeah, again, to quote the quote I've said several times these past few weeks, if I had more time, I could have written a shorter letter. This is Ravenous Village, huh? It's a peaceful place. Look, there's an orchard. The village is known for its production of fruit, but it's said to have a rich mining history. Right, there's an old abandoned septium mine to the north of here. You seem to know a lot about the place. Have you been here before? Yeah, when I was training to become a senior bracer. During that time, I covered the whole kingdom on foot without airliner. Why? An airliner would have been much more convenient. Airliners are convenient, but they only go to the 5 major cities. If you use their convenience, your attention will reach other places. You should first travel on foot to see the places you could protect with your own eyes. It is pretty much the way your father recommended me go about my training. Dad really said that? Certainly a possibility. If an incident occurs in a place you're unfamiliar with, you could end up getting there too late. Also, it'd be pretty advantageous to know the geography when chasing a criminal. That's exactly right. Well, be that as it may, let's see what we can find out about the sighting. What do you suggest? Should we just go talk to the villagers? People would be suspicious if we just did that all of a sudden. Let's just talk to the village elder first, see what he has to say about it. That was actually Yahtzee Crowshaw, Push-Ups, who said that about Metal Gear Solid 4 specifically. I will admit I have repeated that line myself, but he originated it. Fresh eggs. Let's go get some random foodstuffs here while we're here. Ah! Oof. Okay. I actually do know a couple of writers who... I don't have a nice way to put this. Disagree with me about editing. Who just straight up think that more words equal better. I don't agree with that. You see that a lot in television. I haven't seen the likes of you around here before, so tell me, are you here to buy some fruit? No, we're not merchants. We're here for the Bracers Guild. Are you the elder of the village? I guess you could say I'm something like that. You don't happen to be one of Agate's companions, do you? We're all members of the same guild, but we're not companions exactly. We know him by face, and that's probably about it. Sure. Just traveling by himself as usual, huh? The village elder closed his eyes for a moment as a look of sadness passed over his aged features. What's wrong, sir? It's nothing, really. Please pardon my expression. Anyway, what brings you to this rural village of ours? Don't tell me another dangerous monster showed up in the area. No, actually, we're in the middle of an investigation concerning the missing airliner. We came here because we heard there was a report of some sighting. The Royal Army came and investigated the other day, but they searched the area and left empty-handed. Really? What about the person who saw the flying silhouette? Oh, it's one of the kids, a boy named Louis. He apparently saw some suspicious shadow making its way across the sky on the night of the incident. But he's a kid anyway you think about it, so you may have just imagined the whole thing while he was half asleep. I guess the best thing to do is ask him directly. You're probably right about that. Well, thank you for your time, sir. Don't mention it. If there's anything else I can help you with, don't hesitate to ask. I love flower language, as anybody who watched, I guess we'll go with the LTTP theater can attest to. But words are a tool. Tools are best when precisely used. What? Yep, the 100-Day War. Nope, I read that right. I admit I'm biased. I'm arguably more of an editor than I am a writer. So anyways, in case you missed that, this character's name is Lore. I'm actually looking to get out of the orchard business and start again as a merchant in Bozar. My wife and son have already gone ahead to Bozar and are waiting for me. Stab! Oh, sorry. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. We actually talked about this recently, how even a short game can have padding or empty text. As weird as that sounds, you know, as I've said 1,000 times, the length doesn't matter. It's what you use with it. A recent example of that was the Resident Evil 3 remake, a game that's like 6 or 7 hours long and still has padding in it. Haven't seen you guys around here before. You merchants here to buy fruit? Actually, no, we're here for a different reason. As a matter of fact, we're bracers. Braces? You mean like agate? I don't know, you don't look all that strong to me, especially because you're a girl. Ugh, why don't you tell me how you really feel? But seeing after my great skill with the staff, do you think you still call me weak? Wow, that's amazing. It's like a tornado. You missed me, Kenexco. I hope you've learned your lesson that looks can be deceiving. I have another amazing demonstration with my staff. Estelle, be careful. Wasn't it just yesterday you hit yourself in the face doing that? Anyway, are you Louis by chance? Yeah, but how do you know my name? We heard from the village elder. He said you saw some kind of flying shadow. You think you could tell us a bit about what you saw that night? Sure, if you want. But the soldiers of the army already searched the place and didn't find anything. That's fine. We're not worried about that. You think you just tell us what you saw? In as much detail as you can remember. Okay. I was watching the stars at night. I often sneak out of my house to come here and look at the stars. And the other night, when I was out looking at the sky, I saw 2 shadows moving across the sky. Hold on a minute here. You say you saw 2 shadows? Yeah, that's right. They're different sizes, too, like a mom leading a kid. 2 shadows, 2 sizes. That's consistent with an airliner and a sky-banded airship, if you think about it. Yeah, the aircraft we ran across in the woods was definitely smaller than a typical airliner. The 2 shadows just kept on flying north until I couldn't see them anymore. There's a trail that continues behind the village. Leads to an old septium mine. The soldiers from the army supposedly searched the trail but didn't come up with anything. That's why they said I must have been dreaming. He laughed at me like I didn't know what I was talking about. His eyes started to well up with tears. Okay. You can shoot people, kill people, murder people. But you cannot make a kid cry. Shame on you. You're a boy. Boys don't cry. That's actually what she just said. We're not like those stupid soldiers. We don't think you're telling a lie either. We're gonna prove it. Really? Damn straight. Just leave it to us. No more crying, okay? Okay. You're a real nice person. As usual, just got an act with kids. Yeah, maybe it's a virtue. Huh? Why are you looking at me like that? Nothing. Let's focus on the task at hand. Looks like we've got stuff to do. Right. Let's try and get onto the trail behind the village. See what we can find. Also, I'm going to just quietly agree with Blade Javal. Speaking as someone who's, done plenty of writing classes in high school, and a few in college, I have always hated the idea of minimum word count or minimum page count or whatever. You know the type, right? You need to turn in this essay, it needs to be X length minimum. And it's always the floor. And that's a really dumb thing to do. I'm just going to be as absolutely blunt about that as I can. I thought that was dumb when I was a kid. I think it's even dumber now. What's the name of this stupid town? Ravenu. Yep, plus to lore exists. Yeah, that too, Dakota. That's another thing, and I'm going to say this as absolutely politely and kindly as I can. One of the things that irritated me the most about almost every class I had about creative writing or literature or anything like that was how much the teachers would not stop sucking dead people's dicks. I'm dead serious. They would not. They just couldn't unclamp their lips from their schlongs. Now, don't mistake me. There's been some really good writers over the years. This chest wouldn't be empty if you put something in it. I myself can actually name quite a few, older works that I really enjoyed reading, even to this very day. But, that's because those are good stories, not because they're old. And that seems to be a rare common. Ooh, Deathblow 2. Reduced to searching empty chests. That's really sad. Yeah, exactly. No, you get it. Almost all of you got it immediately without me having to explain. There's this attitude that I've seen predominantly amongst the teachers I encountered in school, that classic writing is infallible. That's the textbook, right? That's the template that all others should follow. Ooh, a steak. Nope, still empty. Aww. Yeah, I've mentioned my irritation about Shakespeare about this phrase. It took me years to acknowledge that Shakespeare isn't a terrible writer, because I was so sick of hearing about how he was the greatest writer of all time. For years. Yeah, I would actually say several of Shakespeare's stuffs are yellow. 100%. Good. Oh, man. That would be the funniest thing if I actually start reviewing classic literature. No, by the way, no. What's up, Roz? Ugh, pach. Pach, bech. Sorry. I don't think I've fought that yet. Lord of the Rings, the book. I don't know how well that review. I've been quite open about the fact that I don't care for those books. You've got to be kidding me. No, I can only give myself Sepith. Easel Games. Hey, Evo. The Dragon Prince people are trying to make a new show called The Dragon King. True, first of all. Now, interestingly enough, as much as I find Lord of the Rings incredibly boring and dry and dull, disinteresting, I'm not sure it needs an editing pass, like I can point to several other works and say, that needs an editing pass. I just think that's his style. After all, he wasn't a writer. Now, I say that with an asterisk. It's entirely possible he could, in fact, benefit from having an editing pass. I don't know. It's been actual decades since I've read those books, and God willing, I will never read them again. You know what they could do, actually, though? I don't remember what it's called. I guess it would be an appendix. There's a way to do a writing where rather than pausing the actual book and being like, here's an explanation of such and such, in the novel, or like in an attached novel, or like there's a thing saying, refer to page 135 for the appendix for this. I am error. It kind of, yeah, Blades of All, but I've seen books that do that. And I wonder if Lord of the Rings, the novels, would benefit from pushing a lot of its more dry sections into the appendices, rather than just stopping the action for a bit to be like, hold up, hold up. Oh yeah, maybe just having footnotes periodically. That too, Bragwin. Always think about your writer's audience when considering the writer's quality. Okay, hang on. I gotta see this. I gotta see this. Hang on, hang on. There we go, Dragon King. Oh my god, just the picture. Wow, they've already hit their goal. They've already hit their goal. I am not backing this. Okay, here we go. The Dragon King is a new animated epic fantasy series that brings together iconic talent behind 3 incredible fandoms: The Dragon Prince, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Liam O'Brien from Critical Role. On the cusp of vanishing into legend, the last of the Ark Dragons, Zim, wields his great power to forge a fragile peace in Zadia. But when a forsaken and forgotten Dragon Prince returns from the shadows of exile, Zim uncovers a truth long buried. The throne he inherited may not have been his to claim, and the true heir has come to take it back. The Dragon King is an all-new story that it welcomes a new audience. We have formed the artistic supergroup to craft a truly extraordinary and new adult animated series. You can expect world-class, iconic storytelling from this dream team. Epic, dangerous, and complex. Citation needed. Oh my god. This looks like the entrance to the abandoned mine. Kind of reminds me of the Malga mine. Except for the fact that it's all deserted. Yet, funnily enough, this year I have covered 2 separate shows, both of which fall into the same category. They were shows made by animators who don't understand what the other aspects of storytelling are. You know, camera usage, or general cinematography, or proper lighting, or pacing, or padding, or dialogue, or character beats, or character arcs. Very well animated for what they are. Seems that this place was abandoned quite some time ago. You know my answer to that, push-ups. I have played the Lord of the Rings game on the SNES. I have never gotten past, like, the second stage, though, Valerian. Seems like this place was abandoned quite some time ago. Padlock and chain are rusted. Doesn't look like the gate has been opened recently. Which means there's no possibility the Skybandits entered through here. I wonder if that's why the army never investigated the place. Probably not going to find any clues searching an old mine, that's for sure. What's wrong, Estelle? Maybe it's just me, but do you feel an air flowing out of here? When you say out of here, do you mean the mine? Yeah, that's right. Joshua wets the tip of his finger and held it with his tongue and held it. Oh my god. This is past tense. Joshua wet the tip of his index finger with his tongue and held it out. You're right, Estelle. It's rather subtle, but there's air flowing out of here. Just like I thought, huh? Sometimes your senses can be surprisingly sharp, you know that? What if you get that from your father? Dad doesn't have anything to do with it. But forget about that. Aren't you interested in what's in this old mine? Certainly there's a possibility it connects to somewhere. Oh, check it out. Don't even think about busting the lock off. Let's head back to the village, talk with the Elder. He might have the key. You're no fun. This is a terrible idea. Let's go into an abandoned mine. No. We don't have to add anything on top of that. Just that sentence by itself. Oh my god, is this seriously just straight backtracking? Is that just all this is? I think it is. I think we're just walking back to town. Okay. I will admit I didn't care for the Divine Comedy. It was... I don't know what word to use to describe that, actually. In love with itself? I think that's how I would describe the Divine Comedy. Where's the frickin' Elder? Hang on. I mean, yeah, it was written like a poem. A really, 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 really long poem. So this is where you are, Elder Raisin. Wait, his name's Raisin? His name is Raisin. Hello, it's you young bracers, is it? Well, this is a rather extravagant grave for such a small village as this, isn't it? It was erected to mourn all those souls we lost 10 years ago. Since the Bose region is nearest to the Empire, it was in the thick of the fray. This village lost a number of good people in the hostilities. Oh, whoops. There we go. Sorry. It's terrible. There's no need to get somber, though. These days, cleaning this mine was just one of my daily routines. But I guess you wouldn't have come up here if you didn't think there was something I could help with, right? Alright, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. You can also play the game, Valerian. Schlongs! Would you mind if we pay our respects as well? I know we don't have any flowers to give, but at least I'll offer up a prayer. Oh, of course I don't mind. I'm sure all those looking down from above would be overjoyed by the gesture. You know what's funny is, I actually don't know how the afterlife works in this setting, or indeed if it does. I wonder if they'll ever cover that. Don't answer that. So you say there might be some clues in that old mine, huh? I know for certain that the soldiers didn't check inside. After I heard Louis' story, it really got me thinking. We'd like to check the place out, just in case. So would you mind lending us the key to the entrance? The key for the padlock? Sure! I love the idea of you... Don't go into abandoned mines. I know nobody in chat is ever going to do that, but Jesus Christ. That's like saying, I wonder what's in this abandoned metal junkyard. As far as things that are almost guaranteed to get you hurt or killed. Okay, this should get you inside. Oh, this key looks ancient. Many thanks, Elder Raisin. That's really helped a lot. Don't mention it. We're always indebted to the Bracia Guild for their help. It's only natural we try and return the favor. Thank you. Everyone we dealt with was as cooperative as you. It'd make our lives a lot easier. We'll be sure to let you know if we find anything. I'd appreciate it. Do we seriously have to go back now? Game. Why do you hate joy? I know you can do teleports, game. You've done it. We didn't have to backtrack out of the tower. You just warped me out of it. I know what you're going to say, but this gives you a chance to grind. First of all, as we've already kind of demonstrated, the experience these things give is a pittance, so it's really only worth it for the Septith. Second of all, even that's barely worth anything at this point in the game. I'm already at. Third of all, if I want to go grind, I can just go turn around and go grind. That was one heavy gate. Let's have a look inside, shall we? I know, but Sky Bandits might definitely sense monsters. Stay alert. Yep, this is what I think of when I think of abandoned mine. Honestly, I think we're running into the Xenogears problem again. A lot of music reuse. Oh, that's hysterical, Bragon. Idiot. Man, it's bright in here. Isn't that the... Wait, still. Looks like we've hit the jackpot. These three again. Or four, I guess. Three? I don't remember. Our tutorial villains. Forget about the heavy things and focus on food provisions and valuables. And hurry it up, will you? It's only a matter of time before someone finds this place. Hold to that, Kyle. Got it, Kyle. Okay, Kyle. Understood, Kyle. What's an airliner doing in a place like this? Oh my god, Estelle. Okay. Did Cassius beat your head when he was training you? Too much? Is that just what this is? 1 second. Self whap, whap, whap. What do you mean my skull hasn't formed yet? Whap, whap. I have done a low-end playthrough of Fallout 2. And you're right, I think that's actually what we're seeing, is a low-end playthrough. Sorry, clarifying my thoughts briefly here, don't mind me. Okay. I guess that kid wasn't seeing things after all. This looks like an area that's used to be used for strip mining. Why is it so hot in here? Sorry, 1 second. I mean, it's high 80s, so whatever. But it shouldn't be that hot out here. Hang on 1 second. Is it just me? Am I the one that's so hot? Ah, what a curse. We'll try rearranging the fan for a bit, see if that helps. AC is on. There you go. Ahem. Forgive me. Who would have thought to look here? Look at that. Aren't they loading airliner cargo into their own ship? What about that later? We gotta figure out a way to bag these guys before they get away again. This is our short trip, huh? Maybe. Man, Don can be a real slave driver sometime. Oh, well, once this is all taken care of, we'll sit back and negotiate a nice, fat ransom. Hold it right there, criminal scum. The scorching flames of justice shall never fade away as long as evil thrives in this world. The League of Extraordinary Bracers has arrived. You know, if I were here, I would strongly consider, you know, sneaking up to be closer to them. So I could do more of like a surprise attack, and they would have a less likely chance of getting away. No? Just me? Okay. Yeah, this is the big school of sneaking. That's exactly right. Apparently everyone else just went along with it, as they always do. League of what? You bonehead. Why do you always get carried away like that? What's with you two? Not like a big fool for saying that stuff all alone. You're the ones Jeff said had to run in back into the roulette. This can't be right. We're not supposed to be here this early. Can't be right. We're not supposed to be here this early. What the heck are you talking about? In accordance with the laws of the Bracer Guild, you are hereby under arrest and charged with the hijacking of an airliner and its passengers. I hope for your sakes you'll come along quietly. Now, hold on just a minute. Are you trying to tell me that only the three of you here came to arrest us? You see anyone else, bandit boy? So you're not involved with the others, huh? That simplifies things. Get 'em, boys! Foreshadowing. Such as it is. And yeah, these are pirates? Like, these are hijackers, to be very specific about it. We are being entirely too lenient here. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that indicates they're pirates as of this moment in time. And they are actively trying to kill me. So, you know, that's kind of relevant. That's right, he doesn't like the bracers because they don't kill? Hang on, you've lost me. I mean, for real, I'm fine with not murdering them on the spot, but at the same time, like, they've actively attacked us. If we kill them on accident, that's sort of on them at that point, isn't it? I know, it's a JRPG where you can beat up someone 50 times and they're completely unhurt by it. Now, ironically, this kind of situation, again, hijackers, should actually be the military's job. So, you know, not that I expect any kind of actual professionalism from the liberal military. Yeah, we're just kind of getting smashed. And before you ask, yes, I have upgraded my armor.
Not now.
Someone's been naughty.
Damn. That was a bit of a gamble.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, our two main characters are dead. Yeah, it's not a difficulty spike. Honestly, the whole game is this way, really. They also really love throwing lots of enemies at you in a game where speed is not only important, but, like, action economy is kind of lackluster. That's not what I thought was going to happen when I moved from the bomb toss. And we are, in fact, dead!
Can't be.
This game. You know what? That's the line. We're gonna put on the cheat flag. I don't have the patience for this. believe it's this one. Yes. I don't remember when we cheated last time. I know we didn't take long. So, yeah, I'm just not even gonna bother. There's ways I could, like, not cheat or turbo cheat, but the problem is, again, I know this game. And this is not a problem that's going to go away. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna... There we go. Just gonna make sure it's actually working correctly. Oh god, the skull chapter. We're not even there yet. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this. You mean the build I don't have the resources or access to do without spending several hours of grinding? No. I have not. But you're right. It will be a little bit overkill. See, James Sunderland isn't actually that stupid. He's just hilariously lacking in survival instincts. Did none of those stats stick?
I'm sorry.
Interesting. But the movement didn't work, and we've done 50 movement before. So why didn't the movement work? Right? Like, we did a whole test earlier today as we were understanding how the stats work. Okay. I suppose you're welcome, boss. I don't think I get credit for that, though. Hello, cat. Can I help you? No, I cannot. But for that, I am sorry. That's a little better. Okay. We're good. Hypothetically, I should be able to turn the cheats off. Let's see if that actually works. Yep, we're good. How much are we hitting for? Only about 2,000. See you around, Devo. Enjoy the grocery getting. See, now I'm arguing with myself. I'll let you decide, Lucas Slaughter. It is your run. I know you're there right now.
Oh, are we done?
Questionable. Do we cheat or not? It's your decision. It's your run. I know what I'm going to do if you decide to say no. And I've already shown what I'm going to do if you decide to say yes. Oh yeah, by the way, while we're here, so we actually have some precedents on the skippable cutscenes thing. I'm going to demonstrate really quick. So there's kind of skippable, unskippable cutscenes, but then it does the Dragon Age thing. We can just absolutely blaze through these very, very quickly. So that's actually kind of a different thing. When the game gives you some method to kind of skip this stuff, then yeah, I'm just going to enjoy this for a moment.
Oh, are we done already?
Exactly, Mook. It is functionally skippable cutscenes, because it gives you the option to do that. Alright, so I'm going to chop off the stream. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming again, so I will see you later when I'm done grinding.